All right, so let's continue on with this. If you look here, we have a picture of a sample space for a deck of cards. I don't know if you guys have played cards much, but some of the questions that you have are going to deal with cards. So if you see there are, and mine's in color, yours might not be in color, but there's two rows that are red and two rows that are black. So in cards, these things are called suits. So we have hearts, we have diamonds, spades, and clubs. So there's four suits. There's 13 of each of these. So there's 13 each in each row here. So 13 here and then 13 here. So the total is 52. Cards add up to 52. Now, there's these that are called Jack, Queen, King. These a lot of times, or these will be called face cards, because if you look at a deck of cards, these have like a face on them. So that's why they're called face cards. So there are 12 total face cards. So if you guys have a question about cards, just send me or Miss Mason an email or a remind message and we can talk you guys through some of that. So, all right, let's try one of these. If the order in which the cards are dealt is not important. So remember on the other side we were doing permutations and we were talking about order being important. Now we're saying order is not important. So before I finish this problem, let's jump down and let's write out the definition for combination. So it's going to look almost exactly like the permutation definition did, but one word difference. So let me pause it. All right, I just wanted to save some time here. So combination is an arrangement of objects in which the order is not important. So if you flip this over, you look at your definition for permutations, the only thing that was different is I didn't have that word not there. So combination order is not important. It's just like you take a group of things. So if you've ever played cards, a lot of times when they deal out the cards, they'll give you 5 of them. So here, I grabbed some cards. So here's my whole deck of cards. I've got 52 cards here. If I get 5 cards in my hand, so I'm showing you guys my hand. This is not how I usually play cards. The order is not important. So however I get these, I always like to have them go biggest to smallest. These, look at these are the face cards. You see how they have a kind of a funky looking face, but they have a face on them. I can mix these around like this, and it's still the same 5 cards. So that means order is not important. I don't care how I rearrange these. So you can go red, black, something like that. So it doesn't matter. Order is not important. That's a combination. What we're going to do here is, just like we did with the permutations, n is the total, r is what we want. So n is the total, r is what we want. So in this case, in this problem, we have n is 52 because I have 52 total cards, and r is what I want. I only want 5 of them. So I would do 52C5. Now, this formula is quite a bit uglier than the other one was. This looks like this, n factorial divided by r factorial, and then n minus r factorial. So you'd have a little bit more work to do here. If I was doing this, I would do 52 factorial. You'd have to write 52, 51, 50, 49, all the way down to 1, divided by 5 factorial, 52 minus 5 factorial, and then do the work, which I'm sure a lot of you guys stopped listening to me at that point and you just got your calculators out because you saw that there was that C button on here. So I'm going to turn it back on. Type 52, hit your P or B button. If you look, that second option is a C. So if I do 52 C5, that is all the different ways that you could be dealt 5 cards. So which option is that one? Let's see. So there's our answer. All right, let's try some more of these. Order's not important. Okay, so we've got a restaurant serves omelets. The restaurants we can't go to right now, sad face. So a restaurant serves omelets that can be ordered with any of the ingredients shown. So here's all of our ingredients over here. Those are some cheap omelets there. So vegetarian, so the vegetables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 different options for the vegetables, 1, 2, 3, 4 different options for the meat. So if I say I want exactly 2 vegetable ingredients, vegetarian ingredients, and I want 1 meat ingredient in my omelet. Now, I want you to, you've got some blank space here if you have these notes printed out. These are blank. Add just a little bit of notes here to the side of this. When you have more than one event, so when you have more than one event, you're going to notice that there's 2 words that are going to kind of show up here. One of those words is and if you see the word and, I want you to multiply the events together. If you see the word or, I want you to add the events together. So there we go. So if you see multiply, or if you see and, you're going to multiply, or you're going to add. So like if we said I want red or blue, you would add the 2 together. So if I said red and blue, you would multiply them. Okay, let's go back to this one. So I want 2 vegetable ingredients and 1 meat ingredients. So 2 veggie and, there's that keyword and, 1 meat. Now, I don't know if you've ever made an omelet, but it doesn't matter what order you throw them in the pan. You just, if I wanted green peppers and mushrooms, it doesn't matter which order I put them in. So order is not important. So that makes it a combination. So I have 6 different vegetables that I could pick from. I want to choose 2 of them. So remember, N is the total. I've got 6 total. R is what I want. I want 2 of them. So that's kind of out to the side there. That's for the vegetables. For the meat, I have 4 different kinds of meat, and I want, how many? 1 of them? I want 1. So I've got actually 2 different problems I'm putting together here. So I did the vegetables right there. And means to multiply. I have 4 meats that I could choose from, but I only want 1 of them. So get my calculator out, because I'm not doing all that work on this. And I'm going to do 6 PRB and then 2. So that gives me 15 times 4 PRB, choose 1, and that's 4. So if I do 15 times 4, that gives me 15 times 4 gives me 60. So I've got 60 different omelets that I can make. Why does that look like I spelled it wrong? O-M-E, there we go. When you guys do this on Buzz, all you need is the number. So if you can't spell like I can, lovely. Way to go, Ross. All right, let's try another one. This one's tricky, so stick with me. So this one is, there's one like this on your Buzz homework too. And what makes this one tricky are these words right here, at most. So you're going to see sometimes at most, or you're going to see at least. So at most means the most that I want is 3 ingredients. I'm not telling you if I want vegetables or meat. I don't care. I just want the most I want is 3, because if you get too many, it gets gross. So at the most 3 means I want 3, or I want 2, or I want 1, or maybe I don't want anything. So that's what at most 3 means. If it would have said at least 3, it would be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. That's what at least would mean. So at most 3. Now, keep in mind, I have, how many total? 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. So N is 10 because that's the total amount of ingredients. My want is going to keep changing here. So here I've got 10 to pick from. I only want 3. Or, remember that word or means plus. I've got 10 to pick from and I just want to choose 2 of them. Or plus, I've got 10 to pick from but I just want to choose 1. Or I've got 10 to pick from but I'm not going to pick any of them. Now maybe you think that this one's not important, but stick with me here. All right, let's type these in the calculator. So I'm going to clear that out. I have 10 PRB, choose 3. That gave me 120. Let me show you a little trick here. If you're using this calculator, you could type that again, or if you go back up and highlight that and then hit enter, you've got it there again, and then you can just go back and change that to a 2. So plus 45. I'll show you again. You could go up, highlight that, hit enter, and then just go back and change it to a 1. I think it's a little shorter, but you don't have to do it. That's 10. And then remember that one I said 0? Don't forget about that one. Let's type it in and see what the calculator tells it that really is. Enter, change that to a 0, 1. So it's actually 1. So if you didn't do that, you would get a different answer. And then you just add these up. So 120 plus 45 plus 10 plus 1, 176 different omelets. I almost said right last one. All right, I know that was a lot. If you want to go back and re-watch some of that, or if you just want to email or send a remind message, miss you guys.